Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Jimmy Walker here again. So I decided to go ahead and shift gears from the Chevy S10 because mainly I'm just showing you how to model, and some of my other tutorials have a little bit more on texture maps. For this one, I was actually looking at Hondas. Hondas generally have some pretty good curves and everything. Now, this is one of the cars I found on the website, and I'm actually going to do this one without using Photoshop at all. So if you don't have Photoshop, it's no big deal. I'll show you how I do this in Microsoft Paint. So I'm just going to go to the blueprints. I'm just going to click on that one. And so right here we have all these vehicles we can choose from. Now you don't have to click on Honda. I'm only recommending this one because this one does have some curves and it's going to be a little bit more challenging than the Chevy S10 that we did on the last tutorial. So basically I just went down here, and this site, to get the images I am getting, you do have to sign up. That sucks. The good thing about signing up is it's free. The only time it costs money, and that's if you purchase these vector drawings, which I'm not going to. So I was looking at different ones. Like we have the Honda CRZs here and things like that, and those those are tempting to get. I was also thinking about like the Honda de Sol or the CRX, but then I came across the Honda Civic, and I was like, Honda Civic, huh? And it's also this image resolution I'm looking at as well. So, like, I'm just going to click on this 2006 one. The one I have open right here is a 2008. So, the 2008 is this one right here, which is 1913 by 1245 pixels. So, it has an incredible amount of detail. We could also go with the Civic 3-door, too. I'm just going to take a look at that one real quick and see which one I like better. It doesn't really matter. We also have this one, so we'll just take a look at all of these. So I did click on the 2006, which you can see is 206 by 127. I'm going to show you why you don't want to use one of those. So let me go ahead and just download the image real quick. Sure, it doesn't matter where it goes because either way it's going to suck. So I'm going to open this up. Now, right here, you're like, okay, that doesn't look too terribly bad, but when you're in Maya, you're going to be zoomed in like this trying to create EP curves. Or you're going to try and match up polygonal objects to these lines, and that's really why you want to try and find high-resolution images, because of crap like this. So if we, I'm just going to close that crap out. Oh, yeah, this is going to be perfect. This is going to be really, no, I don't think so. This is an 81 Honda. How dare you? Okay, I'm sorry, I can resist. So then we do have this one right here. This is another Civic choice. The nice thing I like about this one, this actually has dimensions. Now, you don't have to have dimensions, but it can be kind of helpful. So like this right here, this actually shows you the curved edge of the bumper. And you can literally take these units and input them into Maya. You just have to know what the dimensions of what you're working with are. So like from the front to the back, this shows 4140. So an example of that would be you would scale this to 4.14. And you would know that would be the length of the side image and the top image. The only thing I don't see, the only thing that sucks about these is you have to scale them uniformly. And the only reason why that sucks is because of the fact that it doesn't have the width. Oh, wait, yeah, it does. 1,695. So that'd actually be 1.695 for the width. So, my bad. And it even has one for the height, too, the vehicle height. So that'd be 1.44. And, I think this image would actually work really well. So instead of, I was thinking about using this one right here, because this one has slightly more curves than the other. Well, see, and now I'm kind of torn. I like this one because it has the dimensions, but I like the other one because it has more curves. I'm going to go with the one with more curves. And the only reason why I'm going with the one with more curves is because of the fact that basically I don't want to give y'all, I want y'all to work without any kind of measurements. I want y'all to be able to, basically I want y'all to be able to do this without having to rely on high-resolution images or I mean, with exact measurements. I want y'all to be able to just throw the images in there, model it, and be like, yeah, I did that. And, you know what I'm saying. So, we're not doing this with Photoshop. We're going to do this with Paint. We'll go down here, we'll click on Open with Paint. If you don't have this option, just go down here to Windows and just go to All Programs and Accessories, and it's going to be here in Paint. I'm not going to lie, I do not know where Paint is located, Windows 10. But that's how you open Paint, and then you just import the file, or you just go up here and you click Open, bring it in that way. I'm lazier than that, which I don't even know why I just closed that out. I'm going to need it open, so I'm going to open that back up. I feel like an idiot. That's actually how I feel most of the time, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this right here. The nice thing about this image, it's pretty much on like the front and the top is pretty much already where they need to be. It's really just lining up the rear of the vehicle that we have to worry about. So I'm going to hold down Control C, and then right in here I'm going to press Control V, and that will import the vehicle. From here I'm just going to hit Control A. I need to move this back, but I don't want to drop it down any units. If I drop it down units, that's bad. So I'm going to move this in right about here. And then the bottom will be moved up right there. And what I'm doing is I'm actually cutting part of the tire, like this line right here. So like if you're wanting it right here, let me look for a flat. Okay, like this line right here on the back part of this, where the skirting meets the bottom part of the frame, or the body, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. If you want to keep that line right there, you'll actually have to cut the dotted line across that. So, just general reference for MS Paint. You'll go down here to Save As. Well, I'll make sure this is saving as a PNG. Kind of important to make sure of that. So we're just going to call this side vide. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it, side vide. In fact, we're going to call the next one front vide and rear vide, or rear vide and front vide, whatever. I can't type them right all the time. So the next thing we'll do is we'll click this, and we're going to get the front vide. Control C, and we'll go in here and Control V. And if this is the first tutorial you're watching, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually say what keys I'm pressing. So if I say Control C, I'm actually telling you to hold down Control, and while you're holding it down, press C on the keyboard. You're going to hear me say different keys like that a lot. In this case, I would do Control S, but the only reason why I'm not, because I'm not changing Vide. I'm keeping this as Vide, so front Vide. But yeah, anyways, so like you'll hear me say Control G, Control C, Control V, Control D, Control Shift D. So you'll hear me say different keys like that. So whenever you hear me say that, then you know those are the keys I'm holding down. I'm making sure I'm pressing them all at the same time. And in this case, this was Control C, Control V. And I'm just going to move this up here. Let me move that over 1 pixel. I say 1 pixel, I probably moved over a little bit more than 1 pixel. So, right there. And then I'll go here, Save As, PNG, and we'll call this Rear Vide. I wonder how many of y'all are just laughing at the Vide. Can you not feel the Vide, man? The Vide is the Vide. Okay, so anyways, we got that now. We'll go ahead and go in here into Front View, and we'll go to Image Plane, Import Image. Let's see, this is going to be under Desktop Tutorial. Yeah, you can tell how neatly organized my desktop is. It just looks like crap. So we need the front Vide. Open. You know what's going to happen? Because I'm making fun of this being the front Vide and all that, I'm going to start saying, like, on all my tutorials from here on out, I'm going to accidentally say Vide, and I'm just going to be like, now, why would I say that? So this is the side Vide. Now on the front Vide, front view, see, I'm already doing it. On the front view, we also need to import the rear image as well. And the reason for this is because, well, it's the same thing. So we'll just go here to Honda Civic, and we're going to click on Rear Vide. There we go. Now we got the Vides imported. Now, it doesn't matter which image goes where. Well, in this case, I'm like, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this because, you know, I want to. But you could have the front facing this way. You could have the front facing this way. It does not matter. In fact, I think on the Chevy S10, I had it facing the same way. I could be wrong about that. Now, one thing that is important to make note of is if you want this to be on the grid, basically where the wheels are zeroed out, it's important to make sure that you move this up. I think it's going to be right there. Yeah. So you need to move this up where it's flat on the grid. And if you want it to look like there's pressure on the tire, then you'll just kind of like move this down just a little bit past the grid. And that's how you do that. So this way, whenever you import your model, the group object will actually be centered with where it's at. But because the tires are protruding through the ground, it won't. You can actually change the collision effects on that, and so it'll look like that there's actually pressure on the tire, and it'll give it that flat surface like you come to see on a regular vehicle. And of course, when you're up in the air, then it'll be round. But other than that, so I'm gonna go ahead and save this as Honda Civic. And yeah, let's just jump right in. The first thing I like to do is take all 3 image planes. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I am going to take each individual image plane. I'm going to start renaming these. This is going to be called front vide. No, I'm not going to do that. Front view. There we go. Save. And we're going to add this one. And we're going to add this one. Okay, let me go ahead and double check these, and they are all connected. So I'm going to make all these as reference images, and the reason for me doing this is this way I can't accidentally select them. And that's the dogs. Yeah, they're annoying. Alright, Iggy, you can quit. So anyways, once I have done that, and for those of you all who now have blown eardrums, I greatly apologize. You can kick my dog's ass if you want. I will not complain. So I think that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with the same thing I always start with, which will be the fender. And the nice thing I like about this one is it actually has a lot of curves. The thing I don't like about it is kind of hard to tell what goes where. So we're going to open this up, and we're going to type in, let's see, what year was this? 2008. Okay. 2008 Honda Civic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Images, and we need to find one of the front fender that has a good view to it. That's all we really need. That one looks like it has a decent view. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, okay, so this whole part right here is part of the front fender. So that's all we need to remember. As long as we remember that, we're golden. So we need to go back into Maya. Okay, so this hood actually, like, oh wait, I don't need the rear view. But the hood, not the hood, but the fender actually wraps all the way around here. So we need to keep that in mind. And the other thing we need to keep in mind is that this is all one piece. So let's go ahead and just create a plane, a polyplane. Nothing too spectacular. Actually, I need to make this a 90. Or negative 90. And the reason why I need to make it negative 90, because if I would just made this a regular 90, let me just click on this, you'll see that it is invisible. And the reason why, because we're using single-sided facing. So, yeah, that's why kind of important to make sure you have that clicked on correctly. So I'm just going to move this right about here. I'm going to move this down right about here. I'm actually going to move this one forward. Actually, well, let me think about this. I'm probably going to move this up to about here. Let me go to Edge, and I'm going to extrude this down right about there. And all I did was press G on the keyboard, and now I'm going back down. And if your tool is still on the manipulator tool, it's because immediately after I press G, I press W. And that's how I switch so quick. For those of you who watch my tutorials and you're like, yeah, we know, Jimmy, we've seen you do it multiple times, congratulations, I am glad y'all are still watching these. I'm actually kind of shocked you are still watching these, I'm not even going to lie. Okay, so anyways, we're just going to move that right there, and then we're going to go into Vertex. And I'm going to start moving these into place as well. Now, you could do this with EP curves. That is totally optional. Whichever you feel more comfortable with. I'm not going to judge you one way or another. I'm just using polygonal shapes because I think these are easier to work with when it comes to like vehicles and stuff. And so that's why I'm choosing to work with these instead. So if you want to work with EP curves, you can. I might show you the other way of doing it. I will show you the light side of the Force young Skywalker. Sorry, I couldn't resist. So anyways, let me go ahead and add an edge loop right here just so I can manipulate that a little bit. There we go. I actually want that to be right about here. Yeah, that one's fine. So what I want to do is I actually want to make this transparent, because we should actually have a line that comes right around here. If we go into this image, you can clearly see a line that goes all the way across. So we're actually going to work on that next. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. I'm actually going to want to create this line while it still has this shape to it. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to start, I'm just going to do this real quick. I'm just going to add a few cuts to it, and then I'm going to close it off. And then is what I'll do is I'm actually going to, well, actually no, I don't want to do that just yet. I'll explain what I was thinking about doing. I was going to pull this out, but then I'll show you what I'll do here in just a minute to make this uniform. So I'm going to move this up to about here. I'm going to press Control G again. Move this here. I'm going to go to Vertex. I'm going to start pulling these down. I made this one too long, so I'm going to pull this back. And it's actually really important that you try to keep this continuity right here. And the reason why that's important is because I actually need to pull this back just a little bit more because I moved that forward too much. Pull this up. There we go. So anyways, the reason why this is important because whenever we do a poly smooth, it's actually going to make it match a lot better. So that's why it's important to keep the continuity. We'll deal with it here in just a second because I know right now we're not, but we can always create new cuts going across here, so that's not a problem. So I'm just going to move that one there. Let's go into the tool right here. I'm thinking I'm actually going to do it right about here, and then I'm just going to do it like this. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is go into Vertex, which we already had selected. Why I wanted to go back into it whenever we're already in it, I do not know. Sometimes I don't know. Let's go into face. No, not face. We need edge. I'm just going to press Control G. I think I'm going to move this one right about here, and then I'm just going to move this other vertex right in here, like that. Boy, first the dogs bark, then I cough in your ear. I am so sorry, YouTube. I do not know what my problem is. I guess I'm just, I don't know. Haunted house. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Haunted house. But Jimmie, it's brand new. It doesn't matter. It's still haunted. From the people who never lived here thing. Okay, anyways, now I could create the bumper off of this and then just create, like separate the faces and give it the space it needs. That's actually a very, very viable option. The nice thing about doing that is that you actually have more continuity with the curves that you create. Is there a downside? Yes, there is. The downside to doing that is trying to think how to explain this. Here, let me just move this over, and that way maybe I can explain it a little bit better. I don't know if I can or not, but I'm going to try to. So we have this shape right here. I need to see where I'm moving this. Yeah, that's the wrong side, Jimmie. There we go. If I can click the right side. So anyways, we have this shape right here that doesn't even line up with the car. Besides the point. So we have this shape right here, and if we were to move this over and we try to make everything match with this, then the problem that we're going to run into is when we're ready to actually start, let me click on this dot right here real quick. Okay, that's the problem. Front view. But anyways, the problem that, say what? I'll just do it that way. Screw you. Okay. No, that was the right one. All right. Okay, so let's see. What was I saying? Bumper. Yeah. So whenever you come in here and you're trying to wrap it around, that's where the problem comes in. And also having that, spending a little extra time on giving it the art detail it really deserves, then I think it actually comes out a little bit better in the long run. Yeah, up front you're fine, but in the long run I think it looks just a hair better. My opinion, you might have a different one. If you do, and you can do a way better job than I ever could, props to you, dude. Props. Like, I'm giving you props where they are due. Props. I don't know how many times I'm going to say props. I've always liked that word, props. That's like the ultimate screw you. Like, you know, hey dude, I just proved that I'm better than you. And it's kind of like, you know, you can't really say anything because you know they're right. And the only thing you can really say is, okay, here's your props. Screw you, dude. I'm out. Peace. Anyways, I don't know. I just had to share that piece of information. Okay, so this is like not even... That's okay. We can still work with it. We can still make the magic happen. We will make the magic happen. So now I'm just kind of lining these up. Ah, crap. Did not want to do that. So anyways, I'm just lining these up. I actually need to see where these are at. So these are all the top lines. Okay, so I actually want these to come here. And then this one will come here. Now these are just going to start wrapping on around. These are actually going to wrap all the way around the vehicle. Oh. Is it that the vehicle is too tall? Question mark? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. This is 2, 4... Yeah, see, this one's just a hair shorter. Not by much, but maybe, well, I don't know. It might just be the image I'm using. Screw it. I don't care. It does not matter. So now we got this fender. Let me tell you, it is a beautiful fender. We need to take this, and we actually need to move it out like that. And the reason, let's see, is that the right area? No, it is not. Actually need to take this area and move this one out. So, like that. Just a little bit, not too much. And the reason for this is because if you looked at the photos, you'll see that that actually, like, curves outwards. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to grab, let me press Q on the keyboard. This way it goes into my selection tool. Okay, so I'm just going to select these. I was actually thinking about maybe doing a extrusion on this. I'm actually kind of leery to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to do an extrusion and then deselect that face. So whenever I pull these forward, this happens. I'm thinking something kind of like this. This way we get the curves that we're looking for. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add edge loops. Now normally I'm doing this for video games, so I'm like really concerned about poly count. I'm not even going to lie, I don't care about poly count this time. Yeah, that looks good. I can live with that. Now I know right now we have like the weird shape thing going on down here. I don't even care. Like, I legitimately do not care about that right now. And the only reason why I don't care about it is because I'm going to be fixing it later. Otherwise, I'd be really concerned. So I'm just going to scale these in, press 3. Okay, there we go. So I am going to be making those sharper lines later on. I just haven't quite figured out how yet, but I will be making them sharper lines. There's several ways we can do it. Right now I'm just trying to get the general shape of this. That's really all I'm concerned with. So the next thing we need to do is this section actually folds over top. And I keep going into the wrong view. Screw it, I'm going to work with it in this view. I'm going to extrude this up. I'm just going to extrude it up like that. I'm going to go into the front view. I'm going to extrude it over like this. So now what I need to do is make this come in to, I think probably right about there. I need to stay in vertex because I need to move that right about there. Then we're going to select these. The only thing that sucks about this is I actually need to, yeah, because this matches right here. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So we have this line right here that goes to the corner of the headlight. But then we have this line that just kind of comes up out of nowhere. Then we have this line right here that meets the signal lamp. And so now you just kind of got to ask yourself, what the hell is going on? So it looks like this actually curves over onto the hood. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It just actually kind of curves over onto the hood. So now I'm kind of regretting my decision on choosing this car, because I'm already starting to really hate it. That's okay. We will make this happen still. I don't even care. I'm just going to move this over like so. Oops. Okay, so I can live with that. Cannot live with that, though. This actually needs to be moved over about right there. There we go. Alright, sweet. And I don't care about the rest of this. I'm just more worried about the profile of this. Once I get that done, then I'm actually going to start coming in here and just modeling the crap out of everything. Because, you know, that's how I roll. So we're going to press G, and we're just going to extrude this probably right about here, give and take, and we're going to do it one more time. I'm going to actually extrude this one up here. So now with this, we're just going to move it on in. I'm going to say right about there. I'm going here. I'm going to grab all these. And this one is going to be modeled right here. So the first thing we need to do is we actually need to bring these vertices down, because they are way too high. Now these vertices right here will be the ones that match up with the hood. Kind of important. Just a little bit. And then I will be coming back over in the 3D view and start working with everything else. Right now I'm just trying to get these points to match. Now some artists may use EP curves. As I said before, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to knock it. Like, if that's what works for you, by all means do it. So that's just my honest opinion of it. You know, me, I choose to use EP curves for creatures. I do, as well as like animals and things like that. And yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so these right here, these will actually follow the contour of this. So to do that, we'll just grab these two, and boom, done. And I might go ahead and grab this one down here. I'm going to move this one over just a little bit. So that's all I'm going to do for those. I know they don't line up to any of these edges over here. That's because there's something weird going on with this image, but that's basically what we're going to do. And so we're going to have this shape right here. Now the next thing I want to do is, if you remember what I said about continuity, you could do it like this, or you could just take these and move them down. In my case, I'm actually just going to move these down. Let's see, I can't do that one. So I need to move this one up right about here. Move this one right about here. This one probably right about there. So I'm just kind of looking in the side view, trying to get these to match up. And then I'm going to come in here. Yes, I made these stick up way too high. That back one looks fine, but the rest of these don't. So I'm just going to move them like that. Just going to press 3 real quick, see what we get. A little bit of a dent in there. I don't know if I like that. Actually, I know I don't like that. I'm just going to pick this one up just a little bit. Aha. There's my culprit. Pull this up. Pull this up. Start following all those edges. About like that. Object mode 3. And we have a little bit of a ding up here. Deal with that here in just a minute. I say ding. Some of y'all might say dingus. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to move that in like so. Okay, I can live with that. So, let's see. The next thing I need to do is I need to come in here to edge. And we're going to extrude this on down. So the way I want to do this is going to be kind of weird. Actually, there's no kind of to it. This will be weird. This edge will come here. This edge will come right about here. This one will come right about here. Meh, meh, meh. 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 Perfect. Okay, anyways. So now I'm just moving these over like so. That's really all I'm doing. And we still don't have quite the continuity I'm looking for. This one needs to be moved up. And over just a little bit. So I'm going to press 3 real quick, see what it looks like. Yeah, that should work. One other thing I want to look at. Yeah, see, we don't have any hard edges right there. All the hard edges are actually right here where the signal lamp is, not right here. Kind of don't want to change it, though. I really don't. Kind of halfway tempted to just say roll with it. You know, I really am, but, I mean, what kind of tutorial teacher person thingy would I be if I just said roll with it? I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'd be a very good role model. I'd be the kind of guy that y'all would be like, he's not completely useless teach. He can be used as a bad example. I don't feel like being that guy today. I really don't. I'm usually that guy, but not today. Today I can be the dude who either y'all say sucks or y'all think is just the greatest thing since macaroni and cheese. Completely up to you. I don't care one way or another. I just don't want to be the guy that says, screw it all the time. You know, I mean, those guys suck. Like, seriously, you can't, like, spend an extra, like, in this case, what, a minute and a half fixing that? So, that's just the way I look at it. Once again, y'all might think differently. If you do, I'm not going to hate you for it. Okay, so anyways, I'm just going to move this in just a little bit. And actually, I probably moved it too much. As you can see, I'm moving it just a little bit. I'm going to press G. And this is the only thing I hate about this tool is, like, once you move it a little bit, then the whole thing changes where it's like no matter which direction you go, you're going to get something that's just totally screwed up. Anyways, the purpose of that is once we hit smooth, we have this nice sharp edge. Oi, I do not know why I keep coughing. Like, seriously, quit coughing. Okay, so this is the edge that we have now. I probably should have continued this on down under here. No, I think I got a way around this. Maybe not. I was hoping maybe I did, but I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'll figure it out here in a little bit. So anyways, let's go ahead and start working with the fenders. So obviously, this shape right here needs to come to a halt. It does not like this doesn't just flow like that. You know, I'm like, yeah, we have this shape right here. Actually, let's go into the image. We do not have that shape right there. So actually, I'm going to edge. I can double click on both of those lines so I have everything selected. Let's just get rid of those. Because now when I do this, I should have this nice smooth shape. Yeah. And it blends. Oh yes, does it ever blend? So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create an edge loop. And I'm going to create one more. Like so. I moved the microphone for y'all so I didn't blow out your eardrums this time. Diet Cola. It's free real estate. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Alright, so is what I want to do. Right now I actually have this where this curves right here. The reason why we're getting this, if I press this, click on this edge, you can see that we actually have another edge hitting within there. So what I want to do is I actually want to select the other edge right here. I just want to pull this out just a little bit. I want to go into face. I'm going to delete this face. Next thing I want to do is go back to edge. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll just do it that way. I'm going to pull this in where it's nice and tight and flat. I'm going to click on these two vertices. I'm going to merge them. I'm going to do the same thing here. So now with any stroke of luck, we'll have that shape, which as you can see is just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. So then we're going to do the same thing over here. Wait a minute. Do we have an open edge? I don't think we do because we actually extruded this all the way out. Okie dokie. We'll go to face. We'll click on these four faces and this one. We're going to click on extrude. We're just going to move it down just a little bit. There we go. That's how you do that. Very simple. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually start manipulating this a little bit more. I'm just going to move that in like so. I actually probably need to move these down just a little bit. I'm thinking something kind of like that. And then we'll need to move. Check this out. Yeah, by the way, if y'all can, I was wanting to mention this, sorry, if y'all can actually, like, I'm trying to think what this would be called. If y'all can see this without the bling on, then that's fine. But if y'all have to use a blend, or I don't know why I called it bling, but if y'all have to use a blend or Fong material, I mean, by all means, go ahead and just click on that. It'll actually make it easier to see where your sharp edges are. And so that's just one little piece of advice I can give you. I'm actually seeing several issues with this, so I'm just going to start manipulating them in my side view. And basically, is it this? No, it's this line. No, it's got to be this line. I don't know which line it is. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to start manipulating these in my side view. Just trying to get them close. That's all I'm doing. Let's see how much of this I just screwed up. No, that doesn't look too bad. We don't quite have the edge I'm wanting down here, but we're getting close. So this has too much of a curve on it. Is what I want to do. Let me go and try. I'm going to try to do this with an edge loop. I highly doubt it's going to work. Yeah, I didn't think it would. So what we're going to have to do is we're actually have to come in here and we're actually have to make this crap. I love making crap. It's like the crap that crapped out crap. It's that crap, you know? Yeah, that crap. You know what I'm saying. So I'm just moving this. I'm basically just trying to keep this as a tight profile. That's all. As you can see, I'm not too terribly concerned about making sure everything's uniform. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just getting it where it's close. And then this way, whenever we press 3, we now have that. We have it where it smooths on in, and then we have that nice tight profile right there. Now I know in the view right here, it tapers off. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling the tapering. I'm just really not. Like, I am not feeling the tapering at all. And same thing with this back part. I'm like, I know there's a sharp edge that comes back here. I'm not feeling that either. I want people to know that it's a Honda, but I don't want them to be like, man, that Honda Civic looks exact. I don't want that. I want something that's going to be unique. So that's why I'm doing things a little wanky this time. So I want something that's completely unique. I don't want something that's just obviously like, oh yeah, that's this. He did a good job or he did a crappy job. No, I want something that's going to have some, some, I guess, pizzazz, I think is what it's called that I've heard it used as. I have no idea. So, anyways, that's all. That's why I'm doing this the way I'm doing it. Otherwise, I'd be spending more time manipulating some of these edges and everything. Okay, so I'm going to click this edge right here. You can click on either this one or this one. I'm choosing this one. Actually, I probably need to click on that one. Yeah, I think so. And I'm just going to come back here. I'm going to click all the way around here. And this is the fun part. Remember, just a little bit. That's probably too much. No, I can live with it. We're just going to click just a little bit more. So now when we press 3, as you can see now we're starting to get this nice fender shape. And I can definitely live with that. I think that just looks gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. Control G, Control Shift D. And yeah, we're starting to actually make progress on our vehicle. So I'm going to continue this tutorial on tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll probably start on the hood, possibly bumper. I don't know. We'll just see where I go from there. But yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow. If you like what y'all are seeing so far, please hit that like button, subscribe, comment, shoot a cat in the head. I don't know. Just do whatever makes you happy. As long as it's legal. That's the key thing. Just make sure it's legal. Anyways, I am like highly sleep deprived, or deprived, I mean. So I shall see y'all tomorrow.